Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the Sweet Talks podcast. My name is Chantel, aka Sweet Talks 777 on Instagram.
And my name is Nikima.
We've been joined again by some very special gentlemen. So we have Ambrose from our podcast from last week, but we also are joined by another very special guest, Jordan. Hi. So, Jordan, do you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah, my name's Jordan. I'm a 28-year-old cognitive behaviour therapist from Birmingham. Born in London, raised in Birmingham. And yeah, I don't know what else. That's it.
Okay, that's cool. All right, cool. So today's topic is our it's fine. So are successful black women intimidating? So that was a question that was actually sent in by one of the listeners, and they wanted to get the answer. So I actually thought it would be very pressing that we have two brothers that can help us answer the question. As well as, us regular sisters in this place. So
and big up to Rihanna's as well.
Bless her. She's not here with us again, but it's all right. She's doing her big things.
Yes,
she'll be back. So who wants to kick us off?
Take it away, Jordan.
Yeah, I don't mind. That's fine.
Go ahead.
Nice.
Are successful black women intimidating? I think the question's a bit loaded, if I'm honest with you. I think it's a bit of a loaded question. I think we have to answer that question thinking about the context, the society that we live in, the way the world's structured. I think the world is patriarchal. So I don't think innately successful black women are intimidating. I don't think there's an innate intimidation about successful black women, but I think we have to understand how patriarchy, race, all of these things combine and like work with and against each other.
Yeah.
So I think the majority, not all men, but I think the majority of men find successful women intimidating generally because in patriarchy, women are supposed to be at the bottom and men are supposed to be at the top.
Sure.
That's the way it works. So of course, if you've been socialized to the idea that men are supposed to be at the top and women are supposed to be at the bottom, of course, if you find yourself in a situation that where women are quote unquote out of their position, of course that could potentially be intimidating because it's not designed to be that way.
I hear that.
So I don't think I think the majority, I think you'll find a lot of men that don't find successful black women intimidating, that don't find women intimidating generally. I don't think successful black women are innately intimidating, but I think the way society's structured, I think many men can find it difficult to accept the success of women generally in a society that's not structured to have women be successful, that works against the success of a lot of women.
I agree.
If that makes sense.
Absolutely agree with that.
James, what would you say?
Oh, what would I say?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
shiggity. Okay, from a black woman's perspective, obviously.
Yeah.
From a black woman's perspective, potentially they can be intimidating, and it's going back to what Jordan's saying about society. Not only is it patriarchal, it's very competitive.
Definitely.
And I feel like the mindset that we have, or that we're taught to have, is that we have to be the best that we can be. So personally, I don't find black women intimidating, more overwhelming than intimidating, because it's because of the work I've done, it's nice to see the overwhelming success of black women that I've seen out there. But yeah, like I said, there's a hint of competition there from a personal perspective. Like, okay, I want to see how far I can go, see how good I can be. Could I potentially do that and more? But yeah, from my perspective, I think there's a little bit of competitiveness, and that might be intimidating. But other than that, it's great. It's overwhelmingly great.
Okay.
Good.
What would you say?
I think Jordan and Nikima both kind of touched on my points. Thanks for the question, by the way. The person that sent it is quite a loaded question, as Jordan said. I think it's a question of, I suppose, looking at the impact of success across cultures, colour and so forth. I think as a society, I think people in general are intimidated by success in itself. Mm-hmm. If you're not comfortable within yourself, if you're not comfortable with your own attainments or your abilities and capability, when you see somebody being successful, there is a sense of feeling somewhat intimidated by that, and I think that's been emphasized in certain cultures more so than others.
Agreed.
Where certain structures or systems have been put in place to ensure that people are kind of paired off against each other. So male, female, young, old, lighter skin, darker skin.
That's right.
Yeah.
So as soon as you kind of see somebody doing better than yourself, and this is something that I suppose, unfortunately, I've experienced personally within our community or within our society, there's a lot more haters from your own.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Irrespective of male, female.
Is that because we're in that community though? Like, would someone from a different community say, actually, yeah, there's more haters in my community than... Oh, do you see what I mean? Is that because we come from this community that we see it more? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. So if it was an Asian community, would they see more haters from that perspective compared to others?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You have to ask them, innit?
Yeah, that's a question we have to ask.
That's a good point.
But actually, I don't know, because most of the time, a lot of people, I think, would suggest that it's celebrated, or at least that they get accolade for reaching or attaining a high position or attaining high levels of success. So I don't know. I think it's only within our own community that, well, I've seen it. Because usually it would be like, oh, my cousin brother is whatever, even if you were not like that close related to that person. Like, boy, they are like, you know, a pharmacist on whatever money, or they're a banker on whatever money. Whereas, like, I don't think we celebrate ourselves as much. I don't think we lift ourselves as much as other cultures do.
I don't know.
I think we do, but I don't think it's as much.
The only reason
I do agree with that a little bit, but go on.
The only reason I say I don't know is because I just think about my success in life, the things that I see as successful, and I can't remember a day where I haven't come across black people that haven't motivated me, congratulated me, asked me how I'm doing, talked about me in a positive. Do you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's just my personal experience. Maybe I'm lucky to be in a community where I've always been uplifted by the people around me, and that may be the case.
Yeah.
But from my experience, I know that from what I've experienced, I can't think of a day where people haven't been motivated to try and do the best that they can do. I don't know days where people haven't been by other black people. Do you know what I'm saying? And again, like, I hold my hands up and say maybe my situation may be unique, but I just think about the experiences that I've had personally. There hasn't been a time where I've ever felt like, if I had to like talk about us collectively, where I haven't felt like black people haven't held me up.
I get that.
And I get what you're saying. I do agree with that. So like, I would say, okay, anytime I've attained like a qualification, or any time that I've gone for something, I have been supported. But I would still say that there are some people that don't like it. So even when I got into doing the doctorate course, I actually said to my mum, I don't want you to tell everybody. It was one of the first things I said, because some people can celebrate you in your face,
and then,
but are kind of waiting for you to drop. And it's because I've seen that I was like, can we not do that? And actually, there was someone who said that they thought that I was arrogant.
Sorry.
I have no idea where it came. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't know where it actually came from. It was she's got an arrogance about her.
No, I hear that still. I do hear that. It reminded me of a situation actually. My sister just got on a doctorate recently.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So she's getting lifted up in the podcast. Yeah.
Oh girl.
But
love you, girl.
Similarly, my sister and I was so excited. This is my baby sister,
I
and
know
I know how hard she's worked. I was telling everyone, everyone I came across, I was in the gym, I was like, yo.
Yeah, you were. And at work as well.
I'm just I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I expected everyone else to be happy as well, innit?
Yeah.
And they were happy, like they were congratulating me. It was kind of like well done.
Yeah,
kind of
that
thing.
right there.
But before that, like everything else before, that's the only example I can think of. Everything else before that, I'm always proud of my sister, innit? I'm always proud of her because I know that. When it's your sister, you know, and you're so close to them, you see the hurdles that they climb, you see the things that they jump over, you see everything in it.
Big ups.
So I was extra proud of her.
I saw it, man. It's beautiful.
Like, like when that happened, obviously all the things that she's done in life, she's always been amazing academically. She's always worked super hard, way harder than most people that I know. She was a kid that come home and sit down and just look at books. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was her just in it. Like, so I've always talked to people like, about her. I say, my sister just got this in her A-levels. My sister just got this in her GCSEs. My sister just got this in her sporting accolades. I was always, and people were always mad happy. Like, when it came to the doctorate, it's the first time that I've ever seen people like kind of like, do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's the part that I'm concurring with. That's the part.
I hear what you're saying, but again, it hasn't happened to me. But I've seen it from her experience.
Can I just add though? I think I've known Jordan since he was probably knee high. Seriously, since school time, isn't it? Long time. And I think what you brought up was quite a key point, because it's the environment and the community that you've been brought in, and I think that's quite unique.
Very unique.
In terms of your mum and her ethos and the group that you belong to. I think that's a more kind of a switched on community, whereas generally, if you compare, say the black community as such in comparison to other cultures, they tend to stick together more as an external show. But internally, I think they have the same issues, the same gripes that we go through.
Exactly.
But they would never show that to you. Whereas with us, from my experience, I think there's a lot more display of kind of negativity towards somebody doing quite well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it is, in all honesty, I do believe that it is more of a, it's like it's what you're supposed to say, because you're supposed to be happy for people, but I think
from
that
the heart.
I don't think it's necessarily from the heart, and you can tell the difference.
Oh yes, indeed.
You can tell the difference.
Yes, you can. There's an energy that comes with
definitely
the words.
Most definitely.
Word power, word sound. It's just quite, you can feel it.
And that point that you brought up about your sister, big up sisters.
Big up.
Yes.
My baby sister as well is on a doctorate course.
Big ups.
And when she first got on, it was complete silence. There was nothing about shouting it and praising it and so forth. Even now, she's due to graduate, the first doctor in her family.
Wow.
Well done.
Next year. But all through her struggles, all through her journey, there hasn't been a single, I suppose, kind of boasting about it or putting it out there.
If she was male,
I was going to ask the same. I love you, ask you the same question. Yes, go on.
If she was male,
then
do you think
would
it
there
been
be
the
a
same?
different slant on it?
Yep.
Yes, that's the question.
Yes.
This is why I love Nakimi, wavelengths. Yes.
Yeah.
Shall I tell you so?
And I suppose then that goes back to that question about
our black women,
our successful black women intimidated, and then that point that you made, Jordan, about how women are supposed to be seen within our society and how men are meant to be seen, and is it a question that it kind of demasculates you when you see somebody, a female, doing better than you because that's the role that you're meant to be doing?
Yeah, I feel like.
I mean, that's possible. I have seen that, and I remember distinctly someone saying to me that I shouldn't. What did they say? I shouldn't display my intelligence as much because men might find it intimidating. So I was like, I need to change.
We need to pander towards.
Yeah, so I need to do that so that I can get married, innit? Only the people on the video can see my face right now. But
there is a culture. There is
definitely,
and it's toxic.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we've been told what masculinity is and what
femininity is.
And we buy into it, unfortunately. And it's so subconscious, we don't even realise it.
That we're doing it. It's true.
So what can we do?
That baffles me though, man. Like, honestly, as a young guy, I can't imagine what it's like being with a dancey woman. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Like, with all due respect, I can't imagine. Do you know how frustrating it is to, like, the person that you're with is the person that you spend the most time with. Do you know what I mean? The person that you're supposed to be able to talk to about things that you can, like,
deep conversations, meaningful.
Have a deep conversation. Grow yourself, grow them.
Saying?
Yeah, definitely.
And maybe, even in that sense, just have a conversation that you don't have to explain, like, 3 times.
Yeah.
Or explain what certain words mean.
Yeah, it's enough being in the world.
Sorry.
It's true.
You know, it's enough being in the world around people that are difficult and just in, you want to be able to at least have like, for me anyway, maybe it's just
respite
me, but like,
from it, yeah,
respite, and just have the ability to have a conversation that doesn't require like, super duper explaining. We're all in professions that we talk to people every day, and some of the people that we talk to are difficult, and are difficult to speak to.
Definitely, and you got to break stuff down.
I can't imagine how that would be like. How would you
at home
want to be at home and have that same kind of
I hear that
experience?
I hear
that
that.
Make no sense.
It would be
to me anyway.
Well, you're from a different frequency. You want to live. So other frequencies might think, actually, I feel like I'm better than, or that I'm in control, or that I can protect and look after, because that person doesn't know, and I will explain, and I'll.
And don't get me wrong. Obviously, people don't know everything, and you have to explain and engage with people,
which is fine.
And you're happy to do that
because it has to be like, okay, if you can learn something from your partner, then that's great. But it shouldn't be like
just
I'm
one-sided.
Yeah, it should be both ways. It should be like I can teach you, you can teach me. But I don't know.
Two become one,
yeah.
Two equals, two fully wholes can, make a bigger circle.
That's the whole point. That is the whole point. But
Good question.
Very good topic. Love it.
But I still think that if it was a male's achievement, it wouldn't, like you were saying before, like it wouldn't be seen as that big of a deal. I think it'd be celebrated, and it's celebrated, and that's what you're supposed to do. But for some reason, when we do it, it's black females, it's a problem.
That's just the patriarchal society that we're. But apparently, we're moving out of. Apparently,
we are.
Yeah, apparently.
I don't feel it. I don't know. I've not noticed. Sorry. No, I know that we've. I know. Well, maybe into a synthetic version of it. I don't know if it's a.
It's the beginnings of it, apparently.
Oh, is it? Okay.
The cosmos and all of that.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Age of Aquarius, apparently. I don't know.
Oh.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
My calendar needs updating then. Solar chart apparently needs updating.
Apparently. So we'll see.
Oh, Lord.
I love that.
I need to change my circle of friends or colleagues. Unfortunately, I do know people who would find a successful black woman intimidating.
Wow.
And not just black women in general. It's like, who is she? How dare she? Kind of mindset. Which I've heard a couple of times, and you kind of not challenge, but Socratically.
How dare you?
He will Socratically question them.
Apologies.
If you challenge, all you get is just a wall, don't you?
Yeah.
You just kind of get the defense there. But then if you reflect that and get them to actually understand what it is that they're saying, the context of what it is that they're saying, that's when they might start to kind of change their mindset a bit.
I hear that.
Yeah.
That just reminded. I think you're right. I would say the same. I think I'd have a lot of my friends would be. Wouldn't be in relationships with women that challenge them or challenge them too much. You know what I'm saying? There's a level that you can challenge, but not too much. Not above and beyond. And I think I'd agree with you 100%.
There's a limit. Yeah.
And something came up last year. There's a little story. I was in Trinidad last year at Carnival. Right? Anyone who knows and has been to Carnival.
I'm trying to go this year.
Yeah.
Trinity Carnival.
Yeah.
So you know,
you got like a week or so.
It's like 3 weeks away.
3 weeks. Oh, okay, 3 weeks away.
Yeah. But you know what it's like, and like women dress up in it's carnival
flamboyant
means to lose the flesh and to let go of the flesh. That's what carnival means. So people go in there dressed in skimpy outfits and all that kind of stuff. And I remember me and my boys sitting down, and it was interesting to see the cultural differences. In fact, actually, because I was sitting down, one of my friends is Jamaican, and we were in Trinidad, and I have another friend who's half Jamaican, half Ghanaian, and then there's about 5 of us who are all Trinidadian descent, all kind of grew up semi in and around carnival, been to loads of different carnivals, etc. And we're all sitting down on the porch in Trinidad, just chilling in the midst of carnival season in Trinidad, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And one of my friends,
I'm there.
One of my Jamaican friends said to me, he asked the group, he said, "You man, would you let your girls like dress up in a carnival costume with like a thong and feathers and all that?" And all of the Trinidadian men, every single one of them said,
"Yeah,
let."
They have.
And the question was let, and it was it. But for me, it was really interesting to see the cultural difference. That actually, you have no control over what the woman decides to do.
Yeah.
The only thing you have control over is whether you decide to be with her or not.
That's
it. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, don't get me wrong. That Trinidad's still a massively patriarchal society. It still has the same difficulties that the rest of the world has. But it was interesting to see before we even flinch. Every single one of the guys who were Trinidadian, and even the half Jamaican, half Ghanaian guy, because he'd been raised around in carnival culture. was like, bro, like you have no.
But how would the Jamaican one say that when he knows how to dress up for carnival? Well, I would assume.
But I think he's basically saying that he wouldn't let his, like, do you know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, that's that kind of
that mindset.
Yes, the mindset that I wouldn't let my girlfriend do. And I thought to myself, and in my mind, I thought I couldn't be with a girl that I had that much control over.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, I couldn't be with a girl that if you want to do something because you loved it, right?
Yeah.
If you decide to go and play master because you loved it, or if you decide to go and be a stripper if you loved it, if I can tell you not to do something that you love, then we can't be together. Yeah. I can choose not to be with you if you make moral decisions that I don't agree with.
Yeah,
that's my responsibility. Do you know what I'm saying?
It gets boring, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It gets boring.
I'm going to be picking out your panties from your drawer next time.
Deep, man.
Yeah.
Listen.
Oh my God.
You're going to come to me and say, Jordan, shall I wear this today? Like, do what you want to do. But do you get what I'm saying to you? But that's the kind of relationship that them kind of guys, that's what they kind of expect. That's what some people expect.
Control thing.
It is a control thing. I hear that.
And there's some women out there that like to be controlled like that. There's some women who
I'm sure there are, actually. I'm sure there are.
And there's men that like to do that. It's not necessarily means it's...
And that's their option as well. Do you get what I'm saying? That people are free to choose.
Somebody out there for everyone, yeah?
Yeah, people are free to choose.
Every luck have it key, don't it?
Yeah.
Nah, man. But what about if you don't like that kind of relationship, but you're in it? I guess. So I guess what if you're in a relationship?
Yeah.
That, part of you is intimidating to your partner. But you're kind of, I don't know.
I know. There's a variable. So how long is this relationship?
Let's go with
married,
2 years.
2 years,
2
not
years
married,
deep.
no children.
Okay, you could either be 2 years married or 2 years in a relationship. I don't mind.
Okay. Children, no children.
No children. In fact,
you know
let's
what?
do
Either
children
way,
and children. Let's do both. Let's do both.
You know what? To be fair, either way, it depends. For me, it depends. There's a very thin line. I don't think it should be there at all.
It shouldn't
be there at all. But if there's little hints of it, and we can work on it and move past it and grow, yeah. But if it's continuous, no. What are you teaching my children? If you're telling me that or making me feel that I'm intimidating because of my success, what are you telling or what are you internally showing me or what you think of me? I just, no. No. In the end, I don't think I'd be with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Either way, children, no children.
I'd question what the gains is. I mean, obviously we know as human beings, all our behaviours are kind of determined by gains that we get, benefits that we get, irrespective of what that behaviour is. If it's something quite negative, there's still a draw there. There's still something that's making you do that.
Yeah.
Even if you're not aware of it consciously, that you're gaining something from it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find yourself in that situation as the male or the female, what are you actually getting from that situation to stay in that situation?
Yeah.
As the woman who is with the man who finds her success intimidating, how does it benefit you to stay in that context?
Cost-benefit analysis.
Cost-benefit analysis.
Love it. Make that decide.
What? Okay.
As we would call in our industry, cost-benefit.
Sorry, let me clarify. It's tool that we stole, but it's really useful.
Yeah.
Pros and cons of staying.
There we go.
Love it.
There we go.
Interesting.
Because sometimes I feel like, especially, I'm thinking at the moment, if I'm honest, I'm thinking about a couple of clients.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, although this is the information I would give them, obviously, but I don't know if me objectively looking at it from the outside in, I wouldn't know what the benefits of staying would be. Mm-hmm. But I know after having been in quite an abusive relationship that it's easy to stay even though you know you shouldn't. Do you get what I mean?
Comfort in staying.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's a comfort in staying. I don't.
There is a gain there, and I suppose to personally drop a terms and conditions in there. I am a good therapist.
Yes, he is.
Despite what I'm going to say.
So this is not therapeutic advice, people. This is just Amber's.
But I have had a couple of clients who I have supported in relationship counselling, or therapy rather, which has led to them separating. Now, obviously, outwardly, you might think, "Oh,
no,
you've not done your job."
No,
because they come to you to fix their relationship and whatnot, and to move on.
Yeah.
But if you empower somebody in that situation,
sure,
in order for them to kind of see that that situation is not of benefit to them, and they can both mutually see that, and then decide to part ways because they're not
good together
on the right frequency
at the moment,
then all good.
I think so.
I hear that.
I don't think relationship therapy should end in the relationship being
people being together.
Being together.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. No, because it could be that they needed to be shown in a therapeutic way that they're not good for one another.
Very much so.
And that's okay.
Very much so.
That is okay. Yeah,
that's true. But the clients I was referring to weren't there for relationship counselling. They were by themselves. So it's kind of hard to make the other person see that.
Yeah, I get that. I get
Sorry.
You'd have liked, so it would have helped if
it would have helped if the other person was there.
Of course.
But I guess I'm thinking as well, like, that it can't just be those couple of people I'm thinking of. There must be other people who are listening to this maybe that are even experiencing it and possibly being downtrodden because they've got attributes that they would have considered to be positive, but someone is then telling them that it's negative for them. So
it's a big one.
Yeah,
I'm going to lean on, just based on what you just said there, I'm going to lean on Carl Jung, I suppose.
Ooh,
okay.
We've gone to Jung.
Don't shoot me down, please.
I'm a fan of Jung.
Nakima, do not shoot me down.
I prefer Jung over Freud any day.
He's
Freud.
useful as a reference point.
Yes.
Okay.
He is useful as a reference point.
For your assignments. I love it. That is so deep. That is so deep. So many layers in that. Okay. Okay.
Wow. It's fun being in this podcast.
Okay. But one of my clients this week actually was referencing for their assignment, coincidentally, Carl Jung's kind of concept of the shadow self. So
I love that.
Yes. So that came to mind when you mentioned about the clients who were in that session by themselves. We all have a relationship with ourselves,
of course.
And if somebody's there for a session in relation to a partner, as we know, within our realm of work, we turn the attention to them. So what is it going on within you?
Yeah.
And how can you fix the relationship that you have with yourself?
Absolutely.
Because as soon as you fix that, you find that your interaction with other people becomes a lot smoother. Yeah. So
absolutely.
So I was just wondering with those clients if that's the area that you went into, trying to get them to hold that mirror.
Yeah, I did.
See that reflection.
That was the direction we were heading into. And obviously when you start to do work like that, a lot of people tend to want to run and hide quite quickly and quite frequently. And obviously working in IAPT, you don't have that much time.
No.
So, yeah. So there's stuff that I have tried to get them to do in terms of having to have that self-reflection and having some understanding of self and concepts of self, what their experiences are, what their ideal self is, and what's the discrepancy between the two. So, yeah. But, yeah. They are... Well, they're doing better than they were, but... yeah, there's definitely that part that still needs to be worked on, if I'm completely honest.
Usually patient people.
Clients,
they avoid. Scary, isn't it? Looking into yourself.
Yeah.
Into yourself. Asking yourself questions. What is it? Who are you?
Do you mean ask identity?
Ask identity.
Okay, we're going to charge you. We're going to charge you for the advertisement.
Nakima mentioned it, asking about your identity. Askidentity.org.uk.
Love it. What about the plugs? Listen. Yes. So
I'm going to check that cash straight after this session. Go on.
Yes. Yes. You got to ask yourself.
Apparently, askidentity.org.
That was you this time.
I know. Might as well throw one in for free.
God, no. It's all out there. Yeah. So, and, you know, society doesn't teach us to do that. Look inward, you know.
True.
Teach us to heal within. You know
Definitely.
I mean? So when we're doing that in therapy, we're vulnerable, and people don't like that feeling of that vulnerability. And we try and encourage them, but ultimately it's so worth it, I would say. It's so worth it. The pain is part of the process.
Definitely.
Short-term pain. Long-term gain.
Yeah.
Short-term pain, long-term gain.
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, I think we're finished with that topic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Liked
all
it.
right, guys.
Loved
So
it.
thank you so much for doing this podcast, and we'll see you all again next time. Thank you.
And
Bye.
Bye.